Video content is changing in 2025. Over the past 5 years, since short form video content truly blew up overnight with TikTok and Instagram Reels, the video content space has gone through a lot of evolution. So as a video content expert who also has a video content agency who literally eats, breathes, sleeps video, I want to share my predictions for 2025 so you can use them in your own video content strategy. We're going to talk about editing, platforms, types of content, and really the best ways to get organic reach and engagement in 2025. So let's get right into it with the first prediction, which is signature content. With so many people being frustrated with feeling like everyone's video content looks and sounds the same, you pull up your Instagram Reels tab and everything looks and sounds the same. The people that are going to be successful with video are the ones that are creating content that is completely signature to their brand. And there's a few different ways that you can do this. The first, and one that I have absolutely been eating up in 2024, is a signature series. So essentially you're creating your own Netflix style show with bingeable episodes on a specific topic. So instead of posting one video with 5 different main points about a specific topic that's your expertise, you're going to spread out those main points into specific episodes on a topic. You can add your own name, own editing style. You can make it completely custom to you. And what's great is that, yes, this can be talking to camera. It can be done with text overlay B-roll style videos. Like, truly, the options are endless. And this is something that we do for every single one of our clients, no matter what platform we're on and no matter what industry they're in. And we have quite literally seen viral results from signature series. So I have an entire video in the queue that is going to be on how to create your own signature series. But really the goal is take a frequently asked question or something that you're a total expert at, or something related to your offer, or even just an idea that has been hanging out in your idea notes app and you just haven't executed on it because there's so many things you could say, or just think about a format or a topic or something that you want to be creating on a consistent basis. Turn that into your own signature series. The next way you can lean into signature content is actually by the edits that you have. An example of this is adding text overlay or closed captions to any type of video content. Well, I feel like in the past, it's been assumed that the more native to the platform your edits look, the better it's going to perform. That just isn't the case anymore. And honestly, for how we execute content for all of our clients, we have completely moved away from using native edits at all and have done all of it in an outside editing app because we're able to truly customize those edits. We're able to use branded fonts, branded colors, and we're able to templatize this so it really makes it where it's its own system of sorts. We actually like to call this a video mood board, which I also have a video coming up on super soon. And this essentially is a system. It actually makes it where it's easier to create your content because you're not constantly reinventing the wheel. But when people see your content, whether they're already in your community or if they are completely new to you, we want to stand out. We don't want to look like every other basic video on the internet. And kind of my final way you can implement signature content for your videos, specifically short form, is we are not creating basic B-roll into 2025. I feel like I am constantly seeing videos with these plug and play shot lists of how to create computer content or content with a mug of coffee. And it's just when everyone does that, it is so basic and boring, and literally people will not know the difference between your video and someone else's video. So when you're thinking about B-roll, think of you as a personal brand, but also as a business. How do we want your footage to look, to feel? How can you lean into your specific unique content pillars so the footage that you're capturing doesn't look like everyone else in your industry? So if you don't like coffee, please stop making coffee B-roll. We do not need to be doing this. If you don't have a perfect, pristine white kitchen, you do not need to have that in your B-roll. So I really think with this signature content prediction, it's how can you go against the norm in content or the things that you're being influenced by that you think your content should look like. So whether it's your edits, whether it's how you're executing your topics, like with a signature series, or if it's even with the footage that you're filming. Okay, so for my next prediction, it is that video structure is going to matter with your videos. And I'm not just talking about having a good hook. It really comes down to when you're structuring your video, whether it's the footage or how you're actually executing an outline of your idea, or even with the final edits that you're adding on, how can you make sure that we're really drawing people in and retaining them through your entire video? Because a great hook is amazing, but if they don't actually watch to the end, then that means you could do better at structuring your videos. And here's a few ways you can do that. The first is just having unexpected hooks. Instead of saying something basic like how to do X if you want to achieve Y, we want to be a little bit more creative with how we're hooking people into your videos. And note, I did not say be clickbaity. I did not say spin out over this. Honestly, for the most part, how you would say something to someone is probably the best way you can start with figuring out the hook that you have. A few ways I really love seeing unexpected hooks is by actually starting with the story before you get into like the takeaway or the educational moment. The next is by actually just like starting right away with like the hot take or the aha moment or like the breakthrough, and then getting into the rest of your video. Or one that I know I've talked about in my content before is actually leaning into visual hooks. And so there's 3 different types of hooks. I've done an entire episode on this if you're wanting to learn more about what those are, that entire breakdown. And one of those types is a visual hook. So whether it's you actually sitting down when you're recording, or you're getting ready or multitasking, or you're walking and talking, those are subtle visual cues that keep people a little bit more engaged. And chances are a lot of the videos that you find yourself engaging with, you'll notice they're like fidgeting with their hands a little bit, or they're putting their phone down while they're talking. Those are all visual hooks. And so really thinking of how you can execute something similar to that. I actually just did a visual hook at the beginning of this video where I like sat down while I was talking. Those little things can make a big difference in your content instead of it just starting and you going right into your video. I feel like this also can apply to not creating basic B-roll, because you're able to think of what are those interesting angles, or having horizontal video clips instead of vertical. Like those little things can make a really big impact in having an unexpected visual hook. The next thing is adding some visual interest into your videos when you're structuring them. And this essentially is pattern interruption. So instead of your video being one long clip of you in the same location talking in the same way, we can add these pattern interruptions in your video. Or maybe you're in one location and then it changes, or you have one visual on the screen and then it goes to you talking. This is such a great way to keep people engaged in your video, and here's a few examples of that. One that I actually just tested out in a video that did pretty well for me was, instead of getting right into your introduction, is actually showing the result or what you're actually going to be talking about. So a video that I actually did was me like testing a mic. Instead of getting right into the video of like, hey, I want to unbox this mic and let's test it out together, I actually showed me testing the mic first thing in the video. Then I got into the introduction to give some context. People knew what the heck and pop was happening. And then I got back into me testing the video. So essentially start the video with what you know people care about. A perfect example of this, so you can really understand this, is a recipe video. Instead of getting right into the recipe, show me the end result of what we are making and then show me how to make it. And this can apply to any topic. Another way you can do this is actually by having like reaction style videos. Even if you're not doing a traditional stitch or reel reply, you can achieve something similar of doing a green screen of like a video or a concept or an idea that you're reacting to, and then getting right into the video. So you have that kind of switch up visually. Green screens in general, especially when the green screen is actually changing throughout the video, is a really great example of pattern interruption. Another one that is so simple is if you're doing a talking video, for example, is actually changing location for your main points or main parts of your video. Kind of the same thing can apply if maybe you're doing a B-roll style video where you're demonstrating something or telling a story, is like having those clips change. That essentially is pattern interruption. And kind of a final tip for this is like, whenever I'm doing talking style videos, I love to add in B-roll and those different types of visuals throughout my video, which really keeps people engaged. So if you take anything from this prediction with video structure, is that take the extra effort to think about how you're going to bring your video to life when it comes to how you're structuring all of the different elements, the audio, the visuals, the actual order of the video footage or voiceover that you have. And don't be afraid to try something new and see how that changes the performance of your content. Okay, my next prediction probably isn't going to surprise you if you've been in my content for a while, but it is that short form is no longer the superior form of content. And I am by no means saying that short form video content is out for things like Reels and TikTok, Shorts, like all the places that short form video has literally blown up. It is definitely not going away, but I'm kind of seeing two things here. The first thing is that with short form platforms, that you're able to push the envelope a little bit more and actually make it longer form. But to a lot of the things I already said of signature content, video structure, that matters even more for longer content. Long content is not easier. I feel like it's actually harder because you have more content to bring them through. I have so many creators that I love following, and I've noticed they're pushing beyond that 90-second mark with even an Instagram Reel, for example, which I know that kind of is technically an Instagram video, but essentially that shorter form content doesn't have to be under 90 seconds for it to perform well. And kind of the other side of this prediction is that I just find a lot of people are going to be moving towards platforms that don't require short form for you to be successful. I know a lot of our clients are actually looking into LinkedIn as a platform, yes, for video content. LinkedIn is always a little late to the game, but I'm sure they want to get a piece of this video pie. And the people that are going to be early adopters in terms of even just updating their video strategy so it makes it easier to cross post there, they are going to see major success. So if you're a creator, if you're a personal brand where you do a lot of thought leadership like podcasting, speaking, or if you find your ideal client is on LinkedIn, please start posting your videos to that platform like ASAP. And on top of that, I feel like YouTube is having a moment. I know I'm personally leaning into YouTube for my own content. Even when I've been working with brands, I've noticed them really wanting to be a part of the YouTube game. And that is with someone that has like a smaller channel. And so I feel like YouTube like blew up pre-creators, pre-influencers. Then it kind of had like a little bit of an ebb when all these other platforms were taking off. But I really feel like there are so many people that can see success on YouTube. For example, podcasters, if you are not on YouTube in 2025, we need to fix that immediately. I have a video all about it. I have a workshop all about it. Like, we need you to get right. But I really feel like this leans into the shortest possible 10-second reels with just B-roll and text aren't the only way to be successful in 2025. And I would actually probably argue that you don't want that to be the majority of your content. My next prediction is that relevancy is going to matter. So I feel like in the past, especially for people that are wanting to grow with video, there's really been this focus of the wider net you can throw, the more viral you can go, the more views, the more reach you can get, the better your content is doing, the better results you're seeing. But I actually think the people that are going to be seeing the most impact from the video content they're posting are actually the people that are focusing on casting a smaller net to the people that they actually want to reach. I honestly feel like this is old news, but I'm going to say it just in case you do not know this. But going viral does not mean you are getting more sales, does not mean you're actually even getting more quality engagement. And it actually could do more harm than good. You could go viral and literally now you have all these people seeing your content or following you that you didn't even want to reach in the first place. So it really is about quality over quantity here. And so really the way to make your content more relevant to the people you're trying to reach is getting hyper specific to either them of what they're looking for, what they're needing, what they're interested in, what their problems are, or being more specific to you, telling your story, giving extra context on you, your brand, what you do, who you're for. When we add those little extra details to the content you're creating, that is going to not only give the algorithm them more data so they can actually feed it to those people, but it's also going to make your content stand out from the noise, which as you kind of hear is like an overarching prediction that I'm having of like the people that are doing the extra effort to stand out from the noise. You don't need to jump through hoops. You don't need to have crazy production. You don't need to be doing the absolute most for this to actually work. Those are the people that are going to be seeing the best success. So first, this starts with, if you don't know who you're creating content to reach, you need to do some work right now. Pause this video or at the end of this video and really think about who are those people you're trying to reach. There's probably going to be multiple, and really get specific on like, ask all the questions, get all the information, and then create content with that person in mind and really fine tune it so you're speaking their language. A way that I've been seeing this done is day in the lives, for example. Everyone's saying, oh, do a day in the life, do a vlog, and they'd be like, oh, day in the life of me working from home. And it's just like, that is not relevant or specific enough. An example of this would be a day in the life of a 28-year-old agency owner and content creator that's based in Tampa, Florida. That gives me so many details about me, about what I'm doing, and about what you can expect in the video versus me just sharing a day in the life. And you're like, why do I care about you, lady? I literally know nothing about what I'm actually getting myself into. But if you take anything from this prediction about creating more relevant content, is that don't be afraid to be specific. Give those extra details, give that extra content, and make sure every piece of content you're creating is with a very specific person or multiple ideal clients in mind. That is going to help you build connections. It's going to help you stand out from the noise, and it's going to help you create better video content. And my final prediction is really, what are we shifting away from when we're thinking about video content? And for me, it's really having clickbaity hooks. It's having trending audios have to be a part of every piece of content you're creating. It's using hashtags. It's creating content that everyone wants to consume. All of those things are no longer needed or even effective for growing. So no, your hashtags do not matter. If you use a trending audio on your video, does not matter. And doing the quick hacks and the clickbait things of posting here and posting when, and a video has to be this long, and all that type of stuff literally does not matter for growing. What really matters, creating signature content, really optimizing your video structure, leaning into longer form content, whether it's adding some more seconds to your short form or if it's leaning into longer form platforms. And what I think is the most important one, creating relevant content. And those are my 2025 predictions. I hope you found them helpful, got the wheels turning, got some new strategies and things you can apply. Definitely let me know in the comments which of these strategies really resonated with you and got you really excited, or if you have some hot takes on them, please let me know. Also, get excited for some upcoming content that I have. I have an entire series about simple video systems that is going to be coming out next. We are getting organized. We are getting streamlined. We are working on workflow, all the things. So get excited about that. And some of the predictions that I mentioned in this video, series, how I've completely updated my stories strategy, all of those are going to be upcoming videos. Yes, we're going there. We're getting into the good stuff. So make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you in the next video. And if you want to hear more about sales strategies that are working this year, I highly recommend watching this video next.